Hello. Hello, hello. Hey everybody, Cindy here with Monarch Mom DIY. Excited to be here for Wood Kit Wednesday. Thank you for being flexible with me with the time. I wasn't quite going to make it back home in time from Chicago to be live at 9, so I pushed it a half an hour. Hopefully you saw that. If you're subscribed to my channel, you should have gotten a notification, and your notifications are on, that said we would be starting at 9:30 instead of 9. I think I got a little sun today at the baseball game. Anyway, as you're hopping on, say hello in the chat. I'm going to try to pull it up here on my phone. I don't have my little stand because I'm waiting for my new O-Snap to come. So I'm just going to have this setting here. Hey, Michelle and Donna and Sally and Martha. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for being here. And anybody else, feel free during the lives, hey, Connie, to say hello in the live chat. If it gets to be too much and you can't see what I'm doing here, you can swipe it out of the way. I did put in the description, let's see, if you close the live chat, and then where it has the title of this video, there should be like, it says how many are watching and when it started, and then there's ... more. If you click more and open that up, it tells you what we're making today, and it has the link for this kit that we're gonna do. And you can go there and find it and also see all the other kits. What we're gonna make today is the fall set. It's called the Fall Harvest Bundle for this mini sign. So if you've never seen this before, it's so cute. It looks like a little mini marquee sign. And there are lots of different seasonal little sets that fit right inside. This set, I would have to say, if you have very minimal space for decorating, this is a perfect set because I can't remember what actually comes with this. I want to say at least 2, maybe 3 signs. But there's lots of options and it takes up very little space. And you just need one of these and then you can just stack these in a drawer. Look how skinny and thin those are. And then just change them out really easily. This would be cute next to a coffee bar just to show, you know, your coffee area, like the different seasons. So for some reason, let me turn it sideways. Maybe then the chat will show for me. There we go. Hello, hello. Anybody else that has hopped on? I see Letty and Constance. Hey, and Stacy and Tita. Becky, welcome. Hey, Tracy. Okay, so what I'd love to know in the chat, is this your first Wood Kit Wednesday? Are you familiar with these laser cut wood kits by the Rust Cover Cottage by Christina? I am an affiliate for her. I do not make or cut these. She does, and I share them on my YouTube channel here every Wednesday on Wood Kit Wednesday. And then I do have an affiliate link, so I do make a small commission if you do place an order through my link. Make sure it says you're shopping with me. Okay, I've got all my paint colors here. I think that I'm going to want to use it. It looks like a rainbow down here. I've got red, orange, yellow, 2 different greens. I've got a teal blue. I've got black. And I've got antique wax because we've got 4 different kits. I'm going to try to show them to you. I can't really tip them too much because they're not glued together. Now, YouTube does not mirror the image anymore for me, so let me tell you, this has leaves and it says fall in a really pretty cursive. This one has a cute little farmhouse truck with a pumpkin in it. It says Farm Fresh Pumpkins. All these letters are individual. We're going to paint. This one's really cool. It's not a solid background. It looks kind of like a basket kind of background, and it says give thanks, and it has a little leaf up here. And then this one says Apple Farm, and it's got some little apples up here. So 4 different fall choices. Now, if you wanted to get more than one of the actual sign holders, you could display more than one of these at a time. Or you could display one of them in your sign holder and then put the other 4 or other 3 like on a tiered tray. Change them out however you want. I do have spring ones. I have summer ones. I have winter ones. I have one with a snowman on it. I have a nativity one. That was the first set I got. So there's lots of sets. Okay, let's get crafting. Hey, Marlene. All right. So I'm going to push this up because what I like to do is take some painter's tape for all the small bits. Okay. I don't want to hold all those individual letters that spells pumpkins and paint them because I'm going to probably get more paint on my fingers than on the letters. So I take a piece of painter's tape here, sticky side up, and then we're going to tack it down to my tabletop. All right, so let's just start with this one. And I don't know yet what color we're going to do these letters for pumpkins. Let's think about it here. I think I want my truck to be the teal color. Obviously, the pumpkin itself will be orange. All right, even the tires are separate. I'm probably going to do those with a black paint marker. This is separate, the little fencing on there. Okay, and then here's our truck. And here's what the background looks like. You can see it has etched in there where everything goes. And because Farm and Fresh was etched and nothing's going over that, I did do a clear coat over this so that I can avoid getting paint into where the words are. All right, so if the truck's going to be teal, orange, I think I want to do, I'm thinking either antique wax, I forgot to get my white, or white for the background of this one. What do you guys think? For the background of the Farm Fresh, hey Lori, pumpkins. I think we'll do the word pumpkins in orange as well. So maybe white. Maybe white would be cute. All right, so let's get our orange. My other best tip for these kits is to get some of these foam sponges. They are the best. Wow, I might need more pumpkin Waverly chalk paint before the fall gets here. Okay, so to do these letters, I'm just getting a little bit of that orange paint on my sponge, and then I'm just going to kind of pounce over each of my letters to paint them. And it's super duper easy. Nobody gave me does white sound good to you guys? Because I think I'm going to do color, antique wax, maybe white for the Apple Farm one as well. These don't really have to match anything because they're kind of individual. They're just going to be displayed by themselves. All right, there's that. I should have grabbed an orange. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and do the pumpkin orange. And if I get a little on the stem, that's okay because I'll just paint over that with the darker color. Sometimes for these smaller things too, I will use paint brushes. Let's get my black. Are you guys there? I'm not seeing any chat right now. Okay, I'm going to do the black wheels here with my little black paint marker because it's going to make it easier. And it's such a small area. Now, this mini sign holder has been around for a little bit. Do any of you guys that have been watching Woodkit Wednesday, do any of you guys have this mini sign holder? And a follow-up question, have you done anything with it? I'd love to know. White would probably be good. I think so too. All right, let's do our agave for our truck. And I'm going to use a brush, I believe, because it's kind of a small area. So let's just get one of my small brushes. And I'm just going to use a little bit of the paint that's in the lid. And this helps us go right up to where the pumpkin is as well. I'm just going to do the whole thing with agave. Okay, there we go. Pretty easy. Okay, and then white for this. You do, Sally. Which of the sets, which of the sign sets do you have for it? Well, that's a lot of white paint. There we go. I'm going to try to go really gently over where it says Farm and Fresh, so I don't get paint in the letters. And that's why I did a clear coat over, because it kind of keeps it from going in the letters. Oh, the spring. Yes, so cute. So this is the Fall Harvest set. I just went over farm again and got some in the F. I'll have to use my pokey tool to get that out. It's okay if I fill in the words or the letters where pumpkins will go, because I'll still be able to see where to put the letters. And the truck too. Alright, let me get my pokey tool real quick. I got a little bit of paint in the F of farm. The other thing, because this set is relatively small compared to some of the kits, is you get a lot for your money for these little mini signs. So, okay, so there's what it looks like. You can still read the words Farm and Fresh. We'll let that dry. I'm going to get a little tiny bit of antique wax. Thanks, Susan. I think so too. For this little piece that's kind of the railing of the back of the truck. And we're just going to get those darkened up with our antique wax. Perfect. Okay, and then I'm just going to use black for the stem of the pumpkin. It's so small, and I don't have a brown marker, so we'll just get black on the top here. I think what we'll do is we'll let this set dry while we paint the next set, and then while that set's drying, we'll come back and put this one together. So I'm just going to move my piece of tape over there, stick this up here. I want to do this give thanks. It's pretty simple. It's just got the words, this little leaf, and this background. And I'm going to do this now because I was going to do antique wax on this one as well. So you can see it's not solid. I don't know what you would call this. It's kind of a lattice type of design. I think that's the word. Is that the word, you guys? I'm using the tiniest little piece of a baby wipe here. This is how I like to do the antique wax. So my husband and I are baseball fans, and we moved to Michigan from Arizona almost 10 years ago. And we are Diamondbacks fans. We were there when they became a team. We watched them play in the World Series, you know, being a very young team. Anyway, now that we're in Michigan, we can hardly even watch Diamondbacks games on TV. But I decided I'm going to find out when they're in Chicago playing the Cubs or the Sox, and then when they're in Detroit playing the Tigers. So today we drove to Chicago, watched them play the White Sox, and then drove home. And then at the end of July, we're going to go to Detroit when they're in town playing the Tigers. So that's going to be fun. I want to do the words give thanks also with orange. You could choose another color, but I like the orange, this pumpkin orange on the antique wax background. I think it'll look really nice. And you'll notice I didn't put this down on tape because it's all one piece. I can kind of hold it while painting the rest of it. See how quick and easy that is? So that's going to go on that. And then we're going to do green. Let's do celery. It's a lighter green. Hey, Sean. I know, Lori. The nice thing is, if you decide to get more later, it's free shipping. So that's nice. You don't have to order everything you want all at once. Thank you in advance if you purchase through my link. That does help out my craft business as well. Okay, so those are the 3 pieces for that one. I don't know if our truck one is all the way dry yet. So let's come to this one. I want to do the leaves like brown and green and orange. So I think I want to do maize. I think I want to do the yellow color for the background of this one. Oh, or should we do, no, I want to do celery. I changed my mind. Let's do celery. And again, it's okay if I fill in the etching lines because I'll still be able to see where my pieces go. They're just there to guide me when I'm doing my gluing. Super easy, okay? Love these sponges. They really make it easy to paint everything. That's done. All right, now we've got a dark green, a brown, an orange, and a yellow. So we can, let me just kind of place these where they're gonna go on this sign so I can kind of see. All right, so let's do one of them orange or pumpkin. And I'm gonna kind of pounce it. I did spray these leaves as well with my clear spray, and I'm going to show you why I did that. See all those etched lines? I don't want paint to go in there, so that's why when I was getting ready for the live, I took them out to the garage and sprayed them. Did I use yellow yet? I guess I did not. Okay. So then let's do one of them yellow. Maize. Here's a real teeny one. Just need a little bit on there. Just some fun fall colors here for our leaves. And I just sprayed them with Rust-Oleum 2X in matte, clear matte, so that it would kind of fill in that etched area a little bit so that I wouldn't be able to get paint in there. I mean, you still got to be a little careful when you're doing the paint. All right, this is moss. This is my darker sage green. So it will still stand out from the background color. So I did get a little bit in here, but then you can just take a push pin or a needle of some sort. I'm using what I professionally refer to as my pokey tool. It's not a real Cricut one. I got it at Dollar Tree. All right, that's just because I got a little bit of paint in there anyway. All right, and the last little bit here, let's do antique wax again. We'll just get another little piece of baby wipe. It's a very small piece of leaf. And that one I did get some in the little etched areas, but because it's brown on brown, you can still kind of see it. All right. Now the last thing we got to decide is what color to do the word fall. I'm thinking I'm going to do an antique wax as well because the tiniest leaf is antique wax, and I think this will look nice on the green background. Okay, I can't wait to start gluing these together to show you what they look like in the sign holder. In case you guys are wondering, I think you can see it because it's kind of shiny. I have a sheet vinyl that I got at Walmart that is covering my desktop. So even though it looks like I'm painting right on my desk, I'm actually not. And it cleans up really easy. All right. Let's match up some lids here. Oh, red. Sorry, I did not see that. You laugh every time I say pokey tool. I know. I'm a goofball, Constance. It's true. Okay, let's set these pieces off to the side. And let's get our truck one. Let's get this one put together so we can see what it looks like. I am going to grab a 400 grit sandpaper. I just like to lightly smooth out my surface once I've painted it. Okay, truck. And I just used the wood glue from Dollar Tree. I'm not fancy. You don't need a lot of it. And I just line it up on the etched lines. Okay. And then we'll let that sit. We'll start doing our letters to spell pumpkins. Again, lining them up on the etched lines. Yeah, red would have been a good idea if I would have looked at it sooner, but you can use my ideas. You can leave my ideas. Take them or leave them. Do whatever colors you like. I like using the wood glue because you have a little bit of time before it sets, so you can kind of move things around. That was a lot. Alrighty. But, I mean, honestly, once you get the pieces painted, they really come together really fast. Constance, do you have this set, the mini sign? These kits are also good for kids to do. Oh, cute. That's a great idea, Lori. I mean, and the nice thing is there's kits that have little tiny pieces like this, and there's kits where it's just bigger pieces. So you can definitely gauge the kit to the age of the child who's going to make it. All right, I think my truck is dry enough that I can add the tires or the wheels. Just line it up there. I love the 3D effect of these little mini signs too. Super cute. And if you get this kit, I do have a video where I show how you put the mini sign together, because see, there's space in between so that you can slide the signs in and out. Whoops, Butterfingers. There we go. All right. Oh, I need the last piece is the little, what do you call this? The railing for the bed of the truck. Okay, and once this is dry and nothing's going to move, I will hold it up for you. But right now I can show you flat. Isn't that cute? I love it. Oh, hey, Christina. Constance is very excited that you're here. I am too. All right, so this is the one that says fall, and it has the leaves. I painted it with celery. We're just smoothing it out. And we did antique wax on the word fall. Just a couple dots of glue. And I'm going to line it up where the etchings tell me to. Okay, step one. And then our leaves. Christina was talking about how the mini sign holder with the sets of signs is such a great kit for people who have only a small amount of space that they can display decorations, because it gives a big impact with just a little bit of space. Come on. And our orange one. And you want to make sure that's lined up so that it's going to fit in the sign holder. Okay, and one more little piece. The one that we also did with antique wax. Okay, not quite dry yet, but there's a preview of number 2. Okay, so the apple farm, you should, Constance, then you can have a little bit of decorations for your office desk. All right, so we've got, these are just the whole word, apple and farm. And then we've got a set of 4 apples and then one that goes on top that kind of pops out more. And then we've got the background sign. So the apples obviously are going to be red. Red with green stems, okay? I think I'm going to do the background of this one white and do apple farm in black and then the apples red. Keeping it simple for this last one. So let's get our white. Yes, Christina, I did mention that. I said this would be good like by your coffee maker, by your coffee bar area, because it's just something small that can add a little bit of seasonal decor without taking up a lot of space. Sometimes with white I go over a second time if you're still kind of seeing the wood color through, but sometimes I like that too, to be able to see the wood color through. So it is whatever you like. Okay, we'll let that dry. And I said black for the words. Oh, thank you, Patty. I don't know, maybe I should have done green for the words, but that's okay. And remember, if you want to display more than one of these at a time, you can get a second sign holder or just lean them, you know, like on a tiered tray or something. All right, there's black. And then red, I think I will just get a small brush to do the apples. Those are kind of small. So we'll just use a little paintbrush here. And we'll just use a little bit of paint from the lid. And I'm going to leave the stem and leaf unpainted for right now. Okay, there's the pile of 4, and then this is the individual one that kind of goes on top in the middle. Alrighty. And then I do have a little green paint marker for these little leaves. And then we'll just do black again. Where did it go? There it is for the stem. All right, while that is drying, let's put together our give thanks. Got just the little branch at the top. love making these. It's so like relaxing. And I'm just going to kind of eyeball this, center it. Okay, we'll let it dry all the way, but there's the give thanks on the background. Okay, let's see. This one is pretty much dry. How cute is that? Farm fresh pumpkins. Oh, I did want to add one little more detail. I wanted to color in the handle on the door. There. Just got my little door handle there. All right, that's adorable. Let's see what it looks like in the sign holder. Hopefully everything's dry and I'm not going to move anything around. Oh, it's so cute. What do we think, friends? No, Constance, these are from Walmart. They're Elmer's brand. They're in the same aisle that I get my Waverly paint. Great question. And I like that they have different size tips. So these are just, are they acrylic paint? They say permanent. Yeah, they're just paint markers. Opaque paint markers. All right, so that was the pumpkin one. Let's see if the fall one is dry. I think so. Ooh, I love it. How cute is that? Now you can see why I painted my sign very neutral, just did white with some black, like distressing, so that no matter what you put inside, it's going to match. All right. I don't know if Give Thanks is dry enough yet. Let's glue the Apple Farm one together. And then we'll try the other two in the sign holder. All right. Form. Cute. Let's glue our individual apple to the pile. Right in the middle. Again, there's etched lines. Now, I may go around my apples with some light shading, especially this one on the top, because I don't know. I mean, you can tell what it is, that it's a pile of apples, but just to make them stand out a little bit more. All right. This one's pretty much dry. Ooh, that is cool. I like how you can see the white background because it's not a solid background. That's cool. All right, that was Give Thanks. And then we'll finish up our apple farm here. Just do a little bit of just doing a little tiny bit of outlining on my apples. Yeah, I maybe... That's cute. I maybe could have done the words in green, but I like it like that. All right, those apples need to dry though for a minute before I can tip it up. Oh, you changed your mind, Lori? Oh, you did this last night, Peggy? That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, I don't feel like it's too early to start doing fall because it's going to be here before we know it. So we need time to decorate our pieces. Get them all ready. All right, the apples are still moving around a little bit. So let me see if I can get them in here without... There we go. Make sure it's still in the right spot. Ta-da! There's number 4. All right, let's put them all in front of me so you can see all of them. I'm just going to flip this around, actually. Thanks, Lori. Make sure you use my link, okay? All right. There we go. Here are the 4 fall ones. Not this. This is a spring. That's in a different set. Spring and summer, actually. There we go. What do you guys think? So fun, and those were so quick and easy. I think I'm actually going to get another one of these little signs so that I can display 2 of these things at a time. Yay! Awesome. All right, so Lori, let me know if you have a hard time finding my link. It's in the description of the video. And thank you guys so much for joining me for Wood Kit Wednesday a little bit later tonight. Again, the link for this kit is in the description of the video. Under the title, it might say more. It might have a drop-down arrow for you. And I look forward to seeing you guys again really soon. Take care.